Welcome to News 6, which is presented by the 6th grade classes at Hopewell Loudon School. Much of our show this week centers on education, and here's Michelle with a profile of a very important educational figure in Bascom.
Miss Celeste Brickner is a familiar figure to all current and former school children in our area, for she has taught school in our county for the last 43 years. She started in a one-room schoolhouse and is volunteering her services as a tutor at Hopewell Loudon School. Classmate Stephanie Frankert asked Miss Brickner about that career decision.
What made you decide to volunteer your services to the school?
Well, working with boys and girls is very rewarding. Let me tell you what happened last year. There was a little girl that came in from out of the state. She was in the 3rd grade, and she had no basics in arithmetic. She couldn't add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So she came in to see me with another group a half hour a day. And after she had been there 3 months and it was time for school to close, on the last day she came up to me and she said, "Thank you so much for helping me." And she put her arms around me and she walked out of the room. Now there's no paycheck could equal the appreciation that she showed.
When Miss Brickner began her career in 1924, the country and the people were much different. Stephanie asked Miss Brickner about the changes.
Children today and the children in the past have many things in common. For instance, we have children who are very eager to learn. We did then and we do today. And then we have the group which is very satisfied with just doing average work, not overdoing it, but just so that we can get by and get by comfortably. And then, of course, we've always got the few that are challenging to the teacher. But there's one thing that all children need, whether it was in the past or now, that I find, and that is we must have the basic skills to work with. We have to be able to read, to understand what we read. We have to be able to use the things that we learn. If we don't, then school can become very disheartening.
Our school doesn't think that reading, writing, and arithmetic is all there is to education. We also need to learn about life and growing up. Our teachers in this different subject are some of the school's high school students. They come into our classroom twice a month for a subject called Teen Talk. Teen Talk is really a free-form discussion in which we can ask questions about high school and about growing up. It helps us to better deal with our emotions and to understand ourselves. One of our first sessions this year involved IALAC, or I Am Lovable and Capable. In another session, we talked about what makes us mad or frustrated. We taped part of this session.
I had some teachers that, they were bad. And you'd ask them a question and they'd fly off the handle. And doesn't teachers make anybody mad?
Yeah. It's just that, like one day you have about 5 tons of homework and you come home and you don't get like one thing done. And, they're like expecting you to get something done. When there's more other teachers down here, they assign you something.
I can imagine. Your parents. That is the big one, isn't it? Your parents make you mad?
Yeah, when they tell me to do the dishes.
Okay. Do you have little sisters or brothers? And when they start talking, your parents tell you to shut up and listen to your little brothers and sisters, right? Because then when you get old, when you were younger and you have older brothers, they tell you to shut up and listen to your big brother, right? Yeah. It's caught in the middle.
We think this experience is very beneficial to us and hope future 6th grades continue it.
Some of our education at Hopewell Loudon takes place after school, especially for the boys who are on the cross-country team. The team practices every night after school, and the practice has paid off. This year, the cross-country team has won 25 meets and only lost 5. They were the 1975 and 1976 Mid-Ohio Conference champions, and this year the Old Fort individual runners-up. Sixth grade teacher Doug Bicciuto is the cross-country team coach, and he attributes the team's success to a fine group of dedicated men who are willing to pay the price to become champions. Not being on the cross-country team doesn't mean that there's nowhere to go after school. Bascom is fortunate to have the facilities of Meadowbrook Park, which provides amusement and recreation after school or any time. The park was built in 1900 as a point of interest to draw passengers to ride the streetcar between Tiffin and Fostoria. The grounds were landscaped and pavilion built and baseball diamond laid out. Other attractions were a miniature railroad, boats, and ponies that gave Wild West rides to children. Newer features through the years have included a miniature golf course and a Ferris wheel. Today, Meadowbrook is often used by traveling campers, but is still available for after-school fun.
Hopewell Loudon School had a frightening experience in September when 3 school buses were destroyed by fire. 3 teenage arsonists were caught. That prank by the 3 cost the school $45,000. But it is not the cost of the buses that worries us, but the thought of what would have happened if school children had been in the buses at the time. Someone could have been injured or killed. Another thought is that without the right number of buses, there are problems with kids getting to school. The school system should not have to depend on parents to bring their children to school. Arson is a very frightening thing as well as damaging. We don't want it to happen again. Thank you for watching News 6. We hope you enjoyed the small look at Hopewell Loudon School in Bascom. Due to the Christmas break, several earlier programs will be repeated during December. Next week, the Elmwood program will be rerun, and during the week of January 2nd, St. Michael Ridge program will be seen again. News 6 will resume with Rising Sun School during the second week in January. Have a great week.